Well, for more on this, I'm joined now by Asanga Abeyagoonasekera, who is a Sri Lankan political analyst and currently a senior fellow at the Millennium Project think tank in Washington, D.C. Thank you so much for joining us on this very dramatic set of developments that we've seen just in the last few hours. Finally, a resignation. Do you think this will help to stop the protests permanently?
Definitely, this would be a key factor to de-escalate the political tension, because for 3 months the protesters were asking for the resignation, and it's a huge victory for the protesters, a non-violent revolution.
We have seen a fair amount of protests and some violence on the streets, though, Professor. And just looking back at the events of the last few days, there hasn't been a sort of definitive leader in this protest movement. But going forward, how do you see the political situation playing out?
Well, according to the Constitution, the acting president should be appointed. And now the Prime Minister, the one who was there, Wickremesinghe, is acting. He is claiming to be the acting president. But the constitutionality and the legitimacy of that is a question, because he had only one seat in the parliament, and it's a bonus seat. And he was not appointed by the people, and he was appointed by the Rajapaksa. So I think the next few days will be who would be the acting president and who would be the next prime minister and the next cabinet, because for all the negotiations with the IMF, you need the finance minister, you need the prime minister as well as the president.
Yeah, so much uncertainty, as you've just pointed out, Professor. Realistically, though, when we're looking at the sort of political makeup, as you point out, they need to appoint a sort of new government, and the current acting president, Wickremesinghe, as you pointed as well, not that popular with the protesters out on the streets. How soon can an election take place realistically?
It is an interim measure only. Clearly, the Constitution mentions it is an interim measure. So I'm thinking about 6 months and not more than 6 months, because here the protesters are asking for this demand of political stability. So they want to see new faces, fresh faces, give chances for more younger people to be elected. So there are demands by the protesters, and that has to be met. And whatever the mandate that was made in 2019. Is no more valid, because what they want to see is fresh faces in the legislature, as well as one important element which they are asking is accountability. Although he escaped, the president, from a military flight, but they want accountability. And I am happy that the British parliamentarian has raised this, Ed Davey, saying that an international arrest warrant could be looked at, and these are positive signs towards re-democratizing.
Thank you, Professor Asanga Abeyagoonasekera, for joining us from the Millennium Project think tank in Washington, D.C. on those latest developments out of Sri Lanka.
Thank you.